Hey everybody, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. and this is the Dirty 30. The best highlights from all of our podcasts this week. 30 minutes every single Friday. The Dirty 30 coming at you. Let's get right to it. This episode of the Dirty 30 is presented by Arby's new Meat in 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats. So let's dive into that race. Carson Hosvar racing aggressively. All right.
Shocker.
He wrecked Bell at the end, and everybody's wanting to hear our opinion, I suppose. Everybody's got an opinion about Hocevar. We've talked about him at length here, about his his style.
I think Denny might have said, he's tired, he's going for it. Yeah, he's going for it, but you're also ruining people's races now, and at some point, it's got to bite you, right?
Oh, I mean... He don't care.
But is anybody actually going to truly pay him back?
I don't know.
I mean, why are we going to debate this? What ifs or hypotheticals?
That's what TJ's saying is going to bite you back, but is it?
I
don't know. Maybe not. You can't keep wrecking people without
I get so sick of that. We're here right now to talk about whether this is his fault or not his fault. And I think it's clear that, he bears the responsibility for everything that happened right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does somebody come, does this come back on him? We don't know. We do not know. And I don't want to waste time on this show going, well, yeah, I bet somebody gets him back. Oh, you don't think somebody will get him back? I bet they do. I bet they don't.
What we're supposed to do? Talk about racing stuff?
I mean, Blaney gets a text message and he's okay. He's cool with it.
Blaney talks about it.
I just don't see these drivers talk a big game about, and they never really truly go do something to him.
I agree.
Well, all right, I'll play this game. I feel like that eventually, yes, somebody will do something. Yeah, I do. I think that there'll be a time when, somebody, and it may be Denny, that says, you know what, my race is, I'm not having a good race today.
And you are.
And it's my chance. I'm already going to finish, wherever. So here's my, I'm going to just go ahead and make it hard on you. How'd you like that, So... I mean, I definitely think that will happen. I know the guys will. I know the drivers get out of the car and they'll say, "Well, he's gonna regret that one of these days," and we don't see anything. But eventually, yes, enough's enough, and somebody will drop the hammer. You know who it might be?
Who?
Could be anybody. Could be Gragson. Gragson likes to be the messenger.
Yeah, he likes to be the delivery.
He does.
It's going to need to be a driver that's not racing for a championship because you can't afford to wreck yourself and get a DNF.
I don't think anybody's going to have to wreck themselves.
No.
You don't have to wreck yourself.
No. It's pretty easy to do if you do it right, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
but is he going to learn from, do we think he changes like Ross finally changed?
No.
It's going to take 2 or 3 times for some people to do this.
This is who he is, man. This cat's different. I don't think that he has and this is not a knock at all. I just don't think he has the ability to have the remorse or listen, I mean, I know I think he does understand right from wrong. I think he does know when he makes a mistake or he doesn't do something just right or he makes a bad decision or whatever, right? He's gotten out, done interviews. We've heard him talk. We know that he has common sense, but I don't know that he's going to take a ton of advice from his competitors. He might take advice from somewhere else.
I mean, he told you last year he's not really friends with the other Cup drivers, so it's not like he has a mentor to be like, hey,
yeah, but I mean, he probably listens to other people. He listens to his team owners, the people inside of his shop. Mm-hmm. What are they telling him to do? If they're telling him, hey, man, keep on being you, he's going to do what they tell him to do. He's going to do what his people tell him to do. Because those are the people that matter. Those are the people that just gamble. Those are the people that just committed to him.
Yeah, to sign that extension.
Yeah. So those are the people he's going to listen to. He's not going to listen to, Danny or Logano or anybody else. Those aren't the people that are signing his paycheck, or those aren't the people that are responsible for his future or his opportunity that he has right now. So he's going to listen to what his team owners say, and his crew chief and all his people that he trusts, all his friends in his circle. If they're all telling him, don't change, keep being you, that's probably what we're going to get. I think there's one thing that I would love for you to put in a clip. Denny doesn't like it. He said so on his podcast that the competitors aren't happy, but the media is. Well, he's right. The media loves it. This is, while I know that this is a big, massive thorn in the side of any of the drivers that are in this guy's wake, it is great for the sport to have at least a couple guys out there willing to shoot the gap, if willing to try to make a hole where there's not a hole, willing to try to kind of like Brad Keselowski at Texas, right? When he drove through Jeff Gordon, and they end up Jeff flat.
Very similar situation.
Brad was that guy back then. He was going for the hole. He was gonna take. He's gonna go for it, and it pissed people off, and it it spilled out onto pit road, and we had that incredible scene. And this is who Hocevar is, and our sport badly needs a couple guys like that in the field.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good to have them.
So bad. So tell me, I guess, how this did come about. So was it as simple as a little conversation with Jimmie? Had you been telling Jimmie, hey, man, you're car owner now,
You know Jimmie as well as I do.
Yeah.
So I had seen that they announced that trucks are going to race at St. Pete on Saturday. And Dixon and I have always talked about the MX5 race at St. Pete. We're like, we should do the MX5 race. That'd be so much fun. And now he's talking about he wants to do it at Daytona, but he's slightly insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? But I was like, okay, I want to do something. St. Pete's a track I love. Can I, that would be fun. That would be fun to do that. And so Jimmie and I, at the time, Jimmie and Shani and the girls were in London, and we would meet up a lot. And we were sitting having a glass of red, and I said to him, "Did you see the truck thing? That looks fun. I wonder if I should look at trying to do that." And Jimmie's like, we had a bit of a conversation back and forwards, and I literally think it was the next morning. Jimmie calls and says, "Hey man, I found your truck." "Oh, what?" He said, "I found your truck." I said, "Oh, is it a good truck?" He said, "Well, it's a team called Tricon." And I'm like, "Well, Tricon that won the championship and just, on the Charlotte Rovals, smashed everybody's doors in." And yeah, them. "Oh, okay, so it's a good truck."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it's a good truck. And I'm going to drive it in San Diego." I said, "Okay, well, we need to get a sponsor." He's like, "Yeah, we'll work on that, with Legacy and the Legacy Motor Club and all that." He said, "Well, we'll work on it. You work on it, I'll work on it." So the next thing he calls me, he says, "Hey, Dollar Tree are on board." Sweet. He's like, "Yeah, they love the idea." He said, "I'm going to come on the box and I'm going to advise you from the box like you used to do with me in IndyCar." I'm like, "Oh, here we go." So Dollar Tree came on, Pi Barker came on board, and Scott Borchetta with Borchetta Bourbon came on board. So all this thing happened. And then, honestly, Jimmie has been the driving force behind it.
Yeah.
He's getting such a kick out of me getting back in the car. We raced at Goodwood together. We won in Aston Martin DB4 GT, which Jimmie put a rather sizable dent in it. But and then we went to Spa in the 6 hours of Spa in a Ford GT40, which so we've done some great racing together recently, and he could see that I wanted to do something, and he's helped me make it happen. So I think I have to thank him. We'll see after Saturday.
Yeah, I would. That's Jimmie. He got me into road biking. He got me on snow skis. Like, he's that kind of guy that's like, "Oh, you've never tried this? Well, you got to try this. And I've got a guy. I'll fix it up. Don't worry. It's all here. Here." He just puts it all out in front of you. Like, here you go. You're on, first class operation every time.
Let's go.
Yes.
But you've experienced what I've experienced. I think fans think of Jimmie as this very buttoned up, very, he's so sort of
polished,
structured and polished. You and I know different. We know the
Jimmie Jam.
When he gets this twitch in his eye, and that can mean you're about to get in a competitive situation with him and you're going to finish second, or you're going to go skiing with him or something,
Yeah.
and he skis like a lunatic. He's,
Yes.
he's, I think he's one of those. We're so lucky to have him as a friend.
Oh,
He's nuts.
He invited me and some other great friends on a trip, and to Europe, and we actually ended up at dinner with your wife, which was incredible. And I swear, I've never been to London or never been to Europe. I've been to Germany, but I've never really spent much time there. And I mean, we were in the top end places. It was just like a hotel everywhere we went to eat, first class out of the park, and I felt like I was on another planet, like a really cool planet. But it was so insane. My Amy told me to tell Ellie, I guess, to tell her hello. But we had it
right back out. Yeah, Ellie had fun. She told me all about it. I was so jealous.
I was the fish out of water, man. I was so out of my element. But when you're in those moments with Jimmie, you just trust. Like, he knows where he's going. He knows what he's not going to put you in a bad spot. But I was like, man, I have no idea where I'm at.
And you went to Scotland, didn't you?
We did go to Scotland, that was a little more my speed. Like, we were out in the wilderness,
yes,
drinking beer and riding, out in the woods, riding these bikes down this long creek and out in the middle of nowhere. It was so awesome. And the old inn where we stayed, the hotel we stayed in, was just very vintage, and it's like it had been there for 500 years or more.
It probably had.
Yeah, right. And so we went into this town we stayed at, and you know this, but I'm saying it's for the listeners. We stayed in this little town, maybe 300 people live there. And we went to the local tavern and hung out with all the locals. And I mean, that right there is right in my wheelhouse. I want to do that kind of stuff right there.
You and me both.
Dirty Mo Media, Junior Motorsports, and I have a new partner this year, and we couldn't be more excited about this. A lot of y'all may have heard Arby's has come on board, and we're loving every second of it. And Arby's has entered the chat with a meal deal that raises the bar for value. Introducing the new meat and 3 box for $7.99 that's filled with Arby's quality favorites. Each meat and 3 box includes your choice of one sandwich: the classic roast beef that is hand sliced and slow roasted, or you can go with the crispy fish sandwich. All this comes with the melty mozzarella sticks, some crispy curly fries, everybody loves those, and a peach cobbler roll for dessert, guys. You got to try that dessert. It's really good. And you get a small drink. It's called Meat and 3, but you're actually getting 5 items, all for only $7.99. Nobody out there is giving you this much value for your money. This is a value meal that won't leave you hungry. You don't have to settle for less when you get more from Arby's. Available for a limited time at participating locations while supplies last. Prices may vary. Get your Meat and 3 box at an Arby's near you today.
You, Freddy Crab.
This guy bet on Bubba.
That came in at 8:30 on Friday morning.
That's an early you.
What, that was it?
That was the whole call?
That was the whole call.
I called that in when I got
I do
here.
that every day.
Where were you Friday morning?
I don't know. Trace that call.
Playing with your llama?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is with
Yeah,
that?
you have a
What
pet llama?
What's with my llama?
What? Like,
He protects our goats. Yeah. Llamas are great, small livestock.
Did he
guardians.
make an escape?
Like, when did you get it? When did you get into farming?
does it spit at you? Does
my
it
wife.
spit at you
Oh,
guys?
she loves.
Yeah, she likes doing it.
Is she
Llama-
from
do llamas spit? Am I
farming?
From
making
llamas?
that up?
Yeah, she's from llamas. No, she grew up riding horses and stuff. So
Oh,
then she
okay.
just wanted to get animals. And
So
what
did you?
am I going to say? No.
When you bought
That's
the
a
house,
good-
did
yeah,
you? did
no,
you
you're
bought-
not.
When you bought the house, did you envision the backyard being full of animals?
No. But it has gone that way.
And he
Yeah.
made. I heard.
So
he
what do
made
you
an
got?
escape.
What do you got?
Well, we got 3 goats. They're Nigerian dwarf goats, and then we have a llama, and I guess chickens are coming. And I heard we're going to get 3 male goats now, so we can breed the females, because she wants goat milk.
Okay.
So, and we have a 3-month-old
Do
at the
you
house.
need to?
Yeah.
So
Do you need to treat the llama better? Where did he blow?
I mean-
I heard he made an escape.
he did make an escape. Yeah, well, I was feeding Charlie like 2 weeks ago. And it's like 7:38 in the morning, and this was like when it was cold. Like it was was before it snowed, but it was like teens. And my wife's friend who was staying with us, she came down. She's like, "Hey, are your animals supposed to be like free roam?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "No, they're in the front yard right now." Like, I was like, "You're messing with me." She's like, "No, they're in the front yard." I was like, "Oh shit." So I run outside, shorts, no shoes, socks, no shirt, freezing. And I yell at my goats. They're like probably 200 yards away from my front porch in the front yard. And I yell at my goats and they come running towards me and they're yelling. Like the goats are like going crazy, running towards me. And if they could speak English, I think they were
speak
saying,
Spanish? What do they speak?
Bah. They speak goat? I don't know. If they could use English, I know they were probably saying like, "Look what he did. Look what he did. We didn't do it." That's what the way they were screaming at me. So they come up to me. And he's just looking at me like 200 yards down the way. I'm like, and this like, he's like 2 weeks.
The llama we're talking about.
Yeah, the llama. Like we got him like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, Jesus, man. So he broke out of our fence, like
just busted through. I mean, he's 350 pounds.
Jeez.
What do the neighbors think about all this going on, this farming?
My neighbors aren't close.
I was gonna say, there's not many.
Okay.
So I think my neighbor caused it personally.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is allegedly.
It's
she
all
doesn't
alleged.
listen to this podcast.
You don't think?
No. So llamas right there, they don't like foxes, coyotes. That's what they protect against. So they'll freak out if there's a fox or coyote around. So I don't think there was a fox or coyote, but I think my neighbor's dogs, they sometimes just run over through the woods. And I think our dog was out there probably barking at this llama. And he was like, "I'm going to get this."
I'm gonna get
And so I was kind of proud of him for breaking it out. I was like, "You're doing your job.
his
I don't
job,
want you to break through this thing, but like you had a goal and you were trying to get this dog." Not makes me feel good for when my dogs are around him, but yeah, he broke out. So we had to wrestle him back in, and then we had to reinforce our fence.
Rebuild the gate.
Yeah, he does not spit. I know you asked that question.
But did I make that up? Do llamas spit?
They do spit.
Okay.
So I learned a lot about him from the guy I got him from, and I brought that question up. I was like, "Gosh, all you read about is llamas. They spit at you and stuff like that." But he's like, "Oh no," he's like, "That's if they're like in petting zoos and stuff, and they get hand fed all the time, and then they get mad you're not hand feeding
I would start
them."
spitting at people too.
And it's not even saliva. Like it's
I
like bile.
heard this somewhere.
Like they regurgitate and then they vomit at you, which is even worse.
All right,
so he's
I don't
never
need to
spit
hear
on
that
us.
right now.
It does make you nervous. Like if he'll get in your face, you're like, "Are we doing this right now?
Is this gonna happen?
Like, am I gonna have to box this llama? I'm going to lose. Like if I'm not gonna win." But he has not spit on me yet. But there's been a couple times I'm like, "Oh,
Is today the day?
Today might be the day.
yeah."
That's funny. Next one is less of a question, more of a demand in quotations. Their words, not mine. They need the mustache care routine, please. ASAP. Is there one?
Yeah. I mean, I have little scissors. I trim it up. Try to make it. It gets a little long. It curls into my mouth. That's when I know I have to trim it a little bit.
Ugh.
When you sometimes get strays, and you just chew them off. Yeah, I tell you, anybody who has longer mustache,
He's hanging out with this Llama too much.
Lima,
whatever.
anybody who
llama?
knows-
Isn't that a
Llama,
country?
whatever it is.
yeah, if you get too long and you don't have your stuff with you, you just bite it off.
He's
a little
starting
bit.
to turn into a damn farm animal.
Yeah.
How have we started to curl it at all? Are we gonna get away with that?
No,
Or is that-
I mean that's
gonna
too
get-
much. When they do get the curly flies,
You put the
like, I'm
oils
not-
in it.
I put a little, it's like beard butter, just to
Yeah.
where they don't get super. It's just like everything,
Yeah.
hair and stuff. I mean, you put something in your beard,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
beard
just like
butter.
a butter. Yeah,
Yep.
He
So-
puts beer in there. That's about it.
beer butter.
yeah. I will say though, it's a pain to eat,
Yeah.
It is.
It's
especially if it's
very
long.
difficult.
Like wings are a disaster.
Oh,
I'm a big pasta guy too. Pasta sucks. Like,
Really?
like Alfredo.
Is the
Dang,
mustache like
yeah.
outweighing all this, or what?
I
Like,
live with it. Yeah,
He deals with
I
it.
like it too much. It's a flavor saver, man. I mean,
Gianna's good with it. Like Gianna's like
She's the reason I have it. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
'Cause I
get-
do
right.
the-
You
when
don't
I-
gotta go. You
when
don't
I-
gotta go into details.
When I
It's-
shave my beard, pause. When I shave my beard off, I go like a week. I'll do like funny looks, like
Yeah, I
mutton
remember you
chops,
saying
like
that
a
in
goatee,
Daytona.
and like soul patch and stuff like that. And I got handlebar, and then I got to this, and she's like, "Oh, that actually looks fairly decent." I was like, "Okay, I'll keep it."
How about your other boss?
Yeah, you've kind
I
of
think he
changed
likes
the
it.
old Penske way.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've
yeah.
kind of.
I mean, I think he likes it.
He hasn't. He
He
hasn't.
has
has he
said
told
doesn't
you
like
so?
it. He hasn't said he doesn't like it.
Well,
I know he's been overseas for a while, but has he even seen it?
He has. Yeah, he's seen it. It was funny though, because when Joey and I walked in the shop, like
one bald guy and one guy with a mustache.
well, it's so like we go in for Penske production day, like a few weeks before the season, and then when we do all our photos, and I got this. Joey went shaved, but he also's got the
beard,
scruff.
yeah.
And he and I both saw each other. We're like we're in this together, dude. Like, yeah, I'm like, we are in it together. It's perfect.
Oh, I love that.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Gluckcast. Every single media person, every single podcast was talking about this person this week. So let's bring him in to see what he thinks about all this. Carson Hosvar is once again post-Atlanta the talk of the NASCAR podcast universe. I don't know if that's a term. I need to make that that needs to be a term, like the Marvel universe or whatever it's called, the podcast universe. So the man himself, what do you make of all this conversation about yourself once again this week?
Yeah, I mean, last year was pretty much, a little deja vu, but I think our cars are faster. That, for me, I felt like last year was a shock. We were second and in contention, where this year I feel like there's been 4 races if you count the duel and the clash, and we've led laps in all of them. So I feel pretty good about our trajectory here. We had a shot to win both points paying races.
You said, you told Sirius that you saw this move open up for a second, you saw the middle, and then by the time you got there it was closed, but obviously did result in contact with Christopher Bell. So how do you have to reach out to him and clean that up? How did you approach that, or will you have a conversation with him about that?
Yeah, well, so I had an idea for the middle, so it was very top of mind. I sat there under red the whole time thinking about just opportunities, right? I got 3 Chevys behind me. Am I going to go top? Am I going to go middle? Where am I going to go? And last year I hit Bell and filled middle on him, and I remember him saying he didn't even know I was there. Like, did not, like, when I got next to him, he didn't even know that happened. He didn't even know it happened. So I kind of obviously remembered that he might give up the middle. I mean, he's obviously really, really good, championship contender multiple years, but I was shocked when I heard he didn't even know how I did that and how I got there. So you remember that stuff, and felt like when I saw the 43, the 22311 cars separated, and I saw a huge run from Ross and a shove, and they just started to open up just a little bit, that right before I got the push, I was like, if I get a big enough shot, I could kind of get there and spook him and scare him. And it's going to be really, really tight, but they all have cameras, they have spotters, they're all really, really good. Maybe they'll move, if it's half an inch or an inch, not enough, maybe I could fit in there. And by the time I get there, I kind of squeeze through and seize maybe part. And I think they started to right when I got the shove, it started open and then started to close. So instead of an inch closed, which I was hoping for, by the time I got there, it was probably 2 to 3. And so it turned him and everything. So, I don't know. I feel like we're racing. I don't know what me saying anything would do for him. Right. I don't really like the conversation stuff. Like, I feel like, if he has to race me harder, like, saying anything is not really going to change that. If I need to let him go every now and again and, give him an extra inch, as a, my bad. Like, I feel like everything's just on the racetrack, and then the rest is just noise. So, I texted Blaney, but like, I didn't text Blaney as like a, I texted Blaney because I don't like that stuff. Even when I'm on the receiving end, like, I'm like, okay, well, this, I'm never getting a text from somebody that wrecked me as an apology. I'm never getting a text that's not an apology. It's always a text, of like, do you actually mean this? Or are you nervous? Or you cover your bases for next week? I always think of that. So I feel like, just actions mean a lot more on the racetrack. And, that's just important. But like I texted Blaney mainly because I was fighting demons in my race car at that point and super tight, and I pounded the fence in front of him. And I just wanted to let him know why I did that. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I had to make them change my car. I was really, really tight. I knocked the fence down 3 times myself because I was so bad in dirty air. I just wanted to tell him why I did that and not like, oh, I was just trying to block you and just running in the fence. Because I thought that dialogue is better than, hey, I just wrecked you. Please don't wreck me next week. Here's an apology text.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I heard Blaney say that on Door Bumper Clear, and it perked my ears up because, you've said in the past that what you just explained. It was interesting, though. I don't know. You probably saw the clip of Richard Petty on his podcast this week, and I'll read the quote. He said, "That boy in the 77, he has him a time. A lot of the things he's getting by with or doing are not really that wrong. If I go back and watch him run, he reminds me of Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt learned to get by with that stuff. That boy in the 77, he's just going to have to learn to get by with the things that he's doing." And that struck me as interesting, Carson, because I think that a lot of us have felt like, well, you're young, and once you learn the ways of Cup, you'll, be like all the other drivers that they're all saying, oh, he'll learn, he'll figure it out. But here's Richard Petty saying, well, actually, he might be able to just get by with learning how to deal with this stuff and still have success on the racetrack, which is the first time I'd ever heard one of the older guard people say that about you. I guess, did you hear that comment, and what did you think of what he said?
I did. I mean, it's super cool, right? I love old races. Like I love 2000s, 1990s, even the 80s. So it's been really cool. Like I didn't even know Rick Mass had a podcast, and he talked about it, and like I get tagged in all these clips, and I was just kind of laughing, and I kind of just made the joke to my buddies. I was like, hey, I might not be everybody's favorite driver, but I'm their favorite driver's favorite driver. Like I was like, I don't know why. I don't know. Like I'm just out there racing. I'm not anybody. I'm not out there like, what famous race car driver am I gonna play pretend today about? I'm just racing, and I am gonna be super aggressive. And I'm not thinking about, how can I play mental mind games and get away with this, or how can I do this? I'm just getting after it. And if anybody wants to settle the score or whatever, I don't know if they're gonna like this, then I feel like anytime I do it unintentionally, right, I'm just like, man, I'm sorry. Like there was a tension. I used the example on Sirius XM of just like, man, everybody, when you go skeet shooting, you might shoot 10 feet off or 5 feet off or even close, but the intention is you're going out there to hit the thing. You're going out there to shoot the thing. You might close one eye, you might have one eye open, you might have two eyes open, you might hold the thing close. Like you have different ways to try and get the same result, but the intention's still there. You're not just, let's just hold the gun sideways and around backwards and see if it somehow flips around and shoots the skeet. Like there's a tension with everything I do. Like there's a tension of like, if that barely started to open, there's 1 inch, I think I can make it happen and barely squeeze in and kind of rub off of them and be fine, because that's what the next gen seems to reward. The Clash, you saw it, just everybody just goes in there, leans on everybody, rolls through the corner and goes off. So these cars are kind of indestructible, and they reward that a little bit. So, it doesn't have to be a full gap anymore. So, I think, if anybody wants to, per se settle the score, that's intention. And, I feel like that's 2 points on the scorecard versus my maybe 1, you know what I mean? And then we're not really even. So that's how I've always looked at it.
Well, I was also, in terms of people talking about you, obviously the nickname Hurricane has now gone from NBC over to Fox as well. I don't think I've heard from you. What do you think of that nickname? Is that something that you like? Is that something that we're going to see on a T-shirt, or you hoping for something better?
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure how much they were going to use it, because obviously it was Lee Diffie's thing, and then we're switching over, and I was like, man, you're not even going to hear that thing till next year in the fall. And I was like, I don't know, they might have something different. But when Fox took over, I was like, okay, well, I guess we can make a shirt or something. I don't know, but I take it as a compliment. You can't nickname yourself. anything. So it's got to come natural and it's got to come from somebody else. Dale Jr. said that too. I heard that. So I did listen there. But yeah, I take it as a compliment that we're running good enough that they want to, help the sport and, think it's a value for their time to think of something. So yeah, I'm all for whatever they want to do.
All right, that was another episode of the Dirty 30 presented by Arby's new Meat in 3 Box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats.